From the deep, dark reaches of Star Trek Online comes Nikodas, Tabbytha, and Grebog with another episode of Fleet Action Report.
Hello, and welcome to Fleet Action Report. I said that like Obi-Wan Kenobi, but anyway, the show that doesn't just play the game, it teaches you how to play the game.
That was General Nikodas. I'm Tabbytha, and here is Grebog.
Computer run program. Fleet Action Report, episode 247. Furious Ferasan Slithus Volleys. I about turned that into a tongue twister.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you all for coming and hearing our latest absurdities. Tonight we are obviously going into a build. Cannon Scatter Volley on the Ferasan Slithus Escort. But your attendant, I guess, lurking, chatting, hanging out.
Your presence.
Presence is support enough, but we also appreciate all of our subscribers. And if you don't want to give Twitch money, we also take bribes in the form of coffee over at ko-fi.com/GREBOG.
Coffee.
And all funds go to, well, basically either software for the show or we buy ships or though I don't know if we had enough for ships. I did. I used the money to help Tabby get a ship. So
indeed.
So yeah, the money does get used. Or well, obviously most people use the money, but the money gets used towards the show. Is a good way of putting that. So, Tabby, how's your week? What have you been up to?
Oh, been playing STO, lots of Valheim, as has been my obsession, and getting ready for finals week. My finals period has officially started this week, so so it's been just a lot of researching, concepting, and thinking. It's that thinking part that really gets me.
Thinking.
Y'all supposed to laugh there.
Just when there's smoke, be careful.
Laugh.
But
where's that clap or the laugh track? That's what we need.
And we need a little GIF that shows up on the screen that's like a little applause sign.
Yeah. There we go. We'll work on that. We'll get our audio and show engineers on that. Oh wait, that's me.
But yeah, that's about it for me. How about you, Grebog?
Still playing WoW, doing well with that. We are what? 4 bosses into heroic. We're working on the garbage boss. Anyone that knows the current raid in WoW would understand what the garbage boss is. Basically there's a bunch of trash piles that you have to not catch on fire and also collect as a ball as you're rolling around as a ball of trash.
Oh my god.
And then you either run it into a bomb or run it into the boss. Either way. And you can pick up the ads. Roll over the ads that are in it and they'll get grabbed up by the ball of trash and then they'll get a debuff. Yeah. It's a very interesting fight. But anyway, yeah, so that's the boss we were working on in heroic. This week's been just interesting overall, but I guess it's one way to put it. But I've been playing STO, hanging out with people in various stream chats and talking with and figuring stuff out, and not working on anything major. Not like I'm going to start a whole nother dive into a rabbit hole like I did with the keybinds. But though I have been debating switching our fleetactionreport.com webpage over to a different content management system. Basically, right now I use WordPress. And WordPress is a pain in my butt. I've been honestly thinking about switching it to Drupal, which would mean reworking a lot of stuff and re-uploading stuff and figuring new stuff out. I don't know. That's where I get work. But yeah. And then I've been playing to while I need some chill time, some me time, I guess would be another way to put it. I've been doing playing a game I haven't played in a while called Satisfactory. Very fun game. It is sort of one of those survival builder slash factory building, survival slash factory building slash, yeah. It's a fun game for me. If anyone that knows me, factory style, yeah, like I played Factorio. I've played also Dyson Sphere program. All very similar in those lines together. And I turned my Minecraft playing into such things as well. How can I automate more stuff in Minecraft? Don't worry. I've worked on stuff. Anyway, Nikodas, how's your week been? What have you been up to?
Between work and school, I've been pretty busy. I more or less took today off. I did get some homework done, but not as much as I probably really should have. Just in order to, take a mental health day, as it were. And I spent a good portion of the day today on STO. Throughout the rest of the week, I haven't really been playing much of anything. I probably, as much as I hate to admit this, I have played Roblox a little bit this week. They have a couple different asymmetrical type horror games on there that I really get a kick out of. And a round takes like 5 minutes. So when I have nothing else to do and I have 5 minutes to burn, I'll jump on there and do that real quick.
Just watch out for that seedier side of Roblox.
I don't talk to anybody. I just play the games.
Okay. Well, I was just apparently there's some really interesting games that have been created on there, and I'll leave it at that.
Oh, I haven't seen anything like that. I don't doubt it though. I did find an interesting Stargate game on there. It's a 2-faction versus type game where one group plays, the humans, and the other group plays like the Jaffa. And the Jaffa are trying to raid Stargate Command, and the humans are trying to defend it. I died very, very quickly when I loaded it up, but it was a thing.
Sounds like some of the stuff that we got up to with Quake World back in the day.
A little bit. There's some similarities on there. But yeah, that's pretty much been my week in a nutshell. So let's go to this week in STO.
Well, today they announced 20% ship sale, and it starts today and goes until April 21st. And that's 20% off all ships that are it says all ships, and ship only bundles, and then ship upgrade tokens, fleet modules. What they didn't mention is redox slots, ship slots, and even bridge officer or bridges, not bridge officer. So if you want to come in and you are looking to complete your collection of bridges, you can come and do so at 20% the price. Or, well, I guess 20% off the normal price. That's more accurate to say it.
It says ship and ship only bundles, but like the 12th anniversary bundle's on sale, and it's got uniforms and stuff in it.
Which is why I also put in here check Zen Store to verify bundles included, because there are more ships. Like the new Genesis bundle is on sale, and it comes with uniforms and a device and weapon, and so check the store. Maybe the bundle you've been waiting for is now 20% off. If not, I guess check until wait for another sale, because there always will be another sale.
Huh. That's interesting. Alrighty. So, first contact day is still going on. It lasts until April 29th. You have 3 possible ways to earn a progress point. One night in Bozeman as the patrol, Synthwave as a TFO, or the Phoenix Rocket Launch Competition, which is another TFO. If you are running solo, the rocket launch will be the quickest way to get that done. If you are in a group, you cannot queue as a group for the rocket launch. Now, you can do what we do, which is get everybody ready, where they just have to click a button and then do 3, 2, 1, click, and everybody click, and hope you get into the same one. But you can't actually queue for it as a group, which is weird. You have to have 14 days of progress to get the reward, which is a BOF power called the Mission Scout Ship, and a hangar pet, which is the Federation Mission Scout Ship. The BOF power sounds interesting. I'm curious to try that out and see how it pans, but we'll see. You can also get on one character is that right? Yeah, that's the one-time reward, right? First contact day bundle, you get a specialization point, 25,000 dilithium ore, the launch toy rocket, and the Phoenix hollow emitter.
Yeah, for some reason they called it the first contact day bundle, which I'm like, okay, it's not, well, I think because it has the launch toy rocket in there and the Phoenix shuttle in there as well. The hollow emitter. I think that's why they call it the first contact day bundle. There is also the daily, like doing the event, you'll get a daily box. Do I still have one in my inventory? I do not, but I still have one of the 150k experience point bonus pool items that is in that box. Or you can, if you don't have any of the com badges yet, you still have a bunch of cosmetic com badges that unlock account wide. You only have to get them once. So,
yeah. So for our primary target today, I requested that Grebog and Tabbytha do a build for me. When I build a ship, I tend to pick a firing mode and build the entire ship around that firing mode, and I have a lot of the same type of abilities across multiple ships and multiple builds. I know Grebog and Tabby tend to build things a little bit differently than I do, so I asked them to have a crack at this and see what they came up with. So the following is the build that they came up with for the older ship that I picked to fly. And some of you might ask, why did you pick this ship as opposed to something newer and better? And that is a completely valid question. I am doing a theme build. Specifically, I needed a character on the KDF side that used Tetryon weapons. So the Ferasans, canonically to the game, not to Star Trek as a whole. Because in Star Trek as a whole, the Ferasans don't exist. Weird backstory. That's a whole thing. Look it up. It has to do with another game that somebody once tried to make canon to Star Trek, and it didn't really work. Anyway, but canonically to the game, the Ferasans use Tetryon-based weapons. So I grabbed the only Ferasan ship in the game and packed it full of Tetryon weapons, and then asked Grebog to do a build, Grebog and Tabby, to put a build together, and this is what they came up with. So Grebog, what are the strengths of our ship?
The strength is you hit everything, because it's a Cannon Scatter Volley. That's the biggest. Well, it's always the strength of a Cannon Scatter Volley.
Not just everything, everything.
Yeah. Like he said, the weakness is like it's an older ship, which means you have only one specialist seating, which is only a lieutenant commander seat. Even it's not even a command seat. So as he said, yeah, there are better ships probably out there, but I feel set up right with the right equipment, you should be advanced easily. Elite probably is capable. That might take more flying and some skill, but I wouldn't put it past being an elite capable ship. Especially in the right hands.
I mean, we've already proven that like even T5s can be elite capable.
Yeah.
Have we though? I'm kidding. We absolutely have.
Now you'll notice some differences between my build and Nikodas's setup and what we're talking about. Here I will share the spreadsheet. He went with Tetryon weapons. I didn't have any Tetryon cannons, so I went with what I already had ready, which were Polaron cannons. So that altered my build somewhat. Not a lot, just the certain things. And it'll make sense when we get to all of that. So like I'm using Polaron cannons. The request for a torpedo, I just went and grabbed the gravimetric photon torpedo. If you have your favorite torpedo in here, if especially doing a theme build, like you could pick that one, or I think you said you did the trifluoride torpedo.
Yeah, I picked trifluoride for now.
I mean, you could go with also like the biomolecular photon, or then there's that one plasma torpedo out there that everyone loves. So that's better for a high yield instead of a torpedo spread. So I went torpedo spread. We'll get to that. So our fleet isn't fully maxed out on stuff, so that's another concession we had with making this build. So that's why on the deflector I have the counter command deflector array. I do that and that. Show notes. There we go. Show notes and spreadsheet all on one monitor. I'm looking at 2 things, or actually more like 5 things. I need another monitor. I need 5 monitors, please. No. So yeah, I went with the counter command deflector. This is a reputation deflector. It is notably one of the better deflectors if you cannot get a hold of the what? Now my brain's phasing out on what the standard deflector is. The
colony deflector.
The colony deflector. Now it's like the fleet intervention or something like that. But
I don't have it on this character, so
yeah,
I can't help you.
I didn't put it in the spreadsheet because it wasn't a thing. Impulse engines, you can go with the prevailing innervated impulse engines. Those are good engines. I put the Romulan Advanced Prototype Impulse because I personally like if you don't like the sudden burst of speed, you can go with the Romulan Advanced Prototype Impulse. It is a great impulse engine setup, and a lot of it has to do with helps with shield regen and flight speed. I mean, if you can go fast all the time, do you need speed boost? And then also with the other things, the standard ways of getting back your evasive maneuvers, it'll be fine. But warp core is the Tholian nucleating warp core. Now this helps both with drops those little crystals out there that if it hits the enemy, it does damage. If you touch them, you get more shields. Now this includes if, let's say, something knocks your shields offline, it still will give you a secondary shield around you. You'll get shields still. I've seen while cloaked, ships that can cloak still will get a shield while cloaked from those. So maybe that's a bug and we're not supposed to be talking about it. Shh. For the shield, obviously went with the standard Tilly's review pending modified shield because it is notably one of the best. Now there is also did you go with the other shield?
I did. I got the regenerative shield.
Yeah, so let's see. Do I have that in my inventory? I did. So you can go with the Kittimer Alliance Regenerative Shield. This one is kind of nice for it's pretty strong as it is, but whenever a shield facing gets knocked down, it does a pulse of anti-proton damage, which, more damage. And then it also has that auto recharge, or maybe that's, yeah. So it's that one's become the new favorite for many people. I did put the Pavan Omni on the rear because, well, supposedly, I'm not sure if this is accurate or not, the turrets have been fixed. I don't know that they have. There's been questions about whether they have or have not. But turrets have been underperforming after one of the updates and have not been brought back to where they should be.
Oof.
So
harsh.
a lot of people have been on cannon builds switching off of turrets because they aren't firing right. So the Pavan Omni is outperforms pretty much every Omni out there, and so yeah. The experimental weapon right now, the current meta is the prototype Phaser Hexa Cannons. Did I put where that came from? Did not. Silly me.
I've got it. It's off the Achilles.
It's like I said, supposed to be the best in game right now. Obviously, as more stuff gets added, eventually it's not going to be the best in the game.
It's a little weird that it comes off the Achilles because that's a C-store ship. It's the Achilles Miracle Worker Heavy Destroyer. So, no play in the lockbox game or buying something super expensive from Muds. Like, it is what it is.
Devices, I'm sure you probably went similar to me, is I have the Red Matter and then I have the Kobayashi Maru. So I did not upgrade my ship, so that's all I have access to right now.
I do have the Red Matter. I threw on the flagship Distress frequency transponder, the Scorpion Fighters, and I just added the Temporal Negotiator for more cooldown reduction.
Now consoles, we have a bunch for plus Tetryon damage. The Tholian Crystaline Interlacer, that has plus Tetryon. It has also a nice special clicky. Is that the web one or is that the wall one?
For which one?
The Interlacer.
It does not have a clicky. It is passive only.
Well, then we have also the Tholian Webspinner array. I think that's you put a small web around your friend or enemy. Right. I mean.
Correct.
Also it has plus Tetryon damage. We also have the automated heavy Tetryon emitters. Again, more plus Tetryon damage. And then
it summons two little things that deal Tetryon damage.
Yeah, and then there's that. Then all the tactical consoles. Now we have our plus damage type in there, which are typically just like phase modulators or something to that effect.
These are Tetryon pulse generators. I have 6 of them. Eventually, those will get replaced with locators.
Yeah. For the fire cycle haste, we have on here the fleet power network array, which is from the Awani. It's one of the it's become one of the meta consoles. It is really good for fire cycle haste. If you ever want to must shoot faster, this will make you shoot a lot faster. I have also the dynamic power. Oh, here. DPRM, which is the Dynamic Power Redistributor Module. It is a big, damage. It gives you damage resistance, and also has a nice damage energy. And then on the clicky, you get a big bonus to your damage. Yeah, and it even adds in more hull regen for survivability. That comes from the Atlas Prototype Dreadnought Cruiser, which is in a Muds bundle, or you have to get it from a lockbox. Hey, Undead Priest. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you for the bits.
Yeah, thank you for the bits.
Bits.
Also have on here. I'm getting all over the place, am I?
The next one is the subspace fracture tunneling field. The
Yeah.
reason this is on here is for the reduced cooldown of universal console abilities, and that stacks. So every time this gets activated, all your universal consoles cool down by a fourth. That's it for
Also,
consoles.
then there's also in the list the Tholian Webspinner array I talked about. Okay, I'm doing different from the spreadsheet. Just like going more off the show notes. Boy, someone wrote a lot of stuff in the show notes.
I noticed
Who
that.
could that
I
have been?
appreciate it.
Go to stations.
So you want me to take over? You've been talking a whole bunch.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm not going to read off the show notes. I'll just go here. So on the Commander Tactical spot, we have Cannon Scatter Volley 3. That is your main damage dealing ability. Attack Pattern Beta 2, which interacts with a couple traits and increases damage resistance. Torpedo Spread 2 to increase damage of the torpedoes. That also interacts with the engines I'm using. And then Chemocyte Laced Weaponry 1 to enhance the damage from all your attacks. The other tactical ability has Focused Assault 1 for bonus damage and accuracy. And Tactical Team 1 to equalize your shields and have a damage resistance buff in there. Our only engineering officer is Lieutenant spot. We have Emergency Power to Weapons 2, which interacts with a trait and gives bonus damage. And then Emergency Power to Engines 1, which also interacts with a trait, a duty officer, and helps cool down the evasive maneuvers, which is another duty officer. Wow, I sitting there talking about that, I didn't realize just how many things that Emergency Power to Engines activates on this build.
A lot. That's why I kind of started writing it down. I'm like going, when did you start looking at this? Yeah.
Like there's a lot of interaction there. That's kind of cool. The science powers, we went heavy on the science powers because it will interact with a console and a trait to boost your fire cycle haste. So we've got Gravity Well 1, Jam Targeting Sensors 2, which is considered a control ability, Very Cold in Space, and Scramble Sensors 1. All of those are control abilities that will interact with the previous mentioned trait and console to boost your fire cycle haste. And then Hazard Emitters 1 to clear some debuffs and give you a hull regen. Let's see, then that takes us... Okay, so just to clarify, the trait in question is unconventional systems, right?
Yes.
Which is right here. Using a control bridge officer ability gives 7% recharge to universal consoles. That's why this is here, and it activates with Gravity Well, Jam Targeting Sensors, Very Cold in Space, and Scramble Sensors. The console we have, this one, right? Yes. So this, you activate this clicky here, the Fleet Power Network, to give you fire cycle haste, and then you have the cooldown so you can just keep clicking it over and over and over again. Basically, is what it comes down to.
Well, that and also yeah.
And then there's a trait. Which one is it?
Temporal tunneling, starship trait that activates off of doing exotic damage.
Okay, so any ability that deals exotic damage will also get you 100% fire cycle haste. There you go. So
the big parts of this build is unconventional systems, Boimler, Withering Barrage, and temporal tunneling. with unconventional systems, Boimlers being personal, Withering Barrage, Temporal Tunneling being Starship.
It doesn't say precisely. Let's see. It says exotic bridge officer, exotic damage bridge officer ability, or any temporal operative bridge officer ability.
Yeah.
So the exotic damage abilities that we have here would be Gravity Well and Very Cold in Space.
Yes. That's why I was saying if you want, an option would be to switch Hazard Emitters 2, then switch to Tractor Beam 1 on the Ensign slot to give you another exotic damage / control. Like, because Scramble Sensors is a control ability, which triggers the unconventional systems.
Right.
Tractor Beam is also control, so if you switch it out, you still keep the control, but you also then add it to the temporal tunneling trigger.
How does it add to that? Tractor Beam doesn't deal damage, does it?
Yes, it does. A small amount of exotic damage.
Well, I might just go flip that around then.
I'm pretty sure.
No, yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, that's
114.6 kinetic damage, ignore shields, reduce turn rate, blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
And that's considered exotic, even though it says kinetic?
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, I might go switch that out. That could be fun. Okay, so real quick, I'm going to run through the traits, or somebody else can if you want. Okay, I put the traits in order that they are on the list here on the right. So my first trait was cannon training, just to increase the damage of the cannons and turrets. Fleet coordinator, which is a static 2% bonus, but it can go up to 10% depending on what allies you have with you. Grace Under Fire is one that is a filler for me right now. It basically gives you cooldown on Miraculous Repairs, which is kind of a oh crud button. Innocuous is crit severity. Intel Handler comes from a lockbox or exchange. Every time you defeat a foe, you get 4% crit chance. That lasts for 45 seconds. Operative, crit chance and severity, that's a free one. Projectile training, damage to torpedoes, that's a free one. Boimler. We have talked about Boimler a lot. Boimler gives you, every time you activate a bridge officer ability, it gives you a chance to reset all bridge officer abilities. So it's a cooldown reduction, and it works pretty effectively. The last two I have here are both from a lockbox. This is Unconventional Systems, which we already talked about, and Whole Lot of X's. This is a survival. So if you get down to below 25% hull, it gives you a heal, both for hull points and shield regen. Just a survival button, and this build on this ship kind of needed it, so that's what we went with. There are other abilities, other traits that you could use that would be better for certain things. Like you can do Fragment of AI Tech, you can go into Intelligence Attaché if you're a tactical or science captain, which I'm not. Adaptive Offense is good just in general. It gives you crit chance. Let's see. The rest of them I think I ended up with. Intel Handler, Whole Lot of X's, Fleet Coordinator, Operative, and Cannon Training. Yes, okay. So the Starship traits. Obviously, there's one spot here that I don't have unlocked yet. Withering Barrage. Well, here, I'm going to go in the order I've got them. It's not quite like the show notes, but here you go. Emergency Weapon Cycle, because it does weapon power cost and fire cycling haste, so it fits the theme. This is good on almost any directed energy weapon build. It comes off the Arbiter, or the legendary version of said Arbiter. History Will Remember. This is a damage and survivability buff that lasts until you switch maps.
and it stacks. So it starts off with 1%, can go up to 30%, and that stays until you map switch. Improved critical systems, just a flat boost to crit chance and severity. Ship of the line. This one does come off the legendary arbiter. It's the level 6, tier 6 ability. Emergency powers grant 20% crit severity, and it can stack, and it gives you an extra 10% per stack. So we have 2 abilities that activate this, the emergency power to weapons and the emergency power to engines. So, you know, if you run them back and forth, you can stack that bonus up. The big one here is Temporal Tunneling. We already talked about that one. And then Withering Barrage, which just cools down. It gives you a 4-second cooldown reduction on Scatter Volley. That's pretty much it. Reputation, you can pick your flavor, pick what you like. I went with crit chance. I suppose I should just say that. So I got advanced targeting systems, which is crit severity. Enhanced rending shots, which is every non-crit hit with a weapon increases your crit chance. Precision, which is crit chance. And then Tyler's duality, which is just crit chance based on all capacity. So lots of crit in there. I don't have the active space or ground unlocked yet. Again, pick your flavor, plug it in there. Oh, right. Okay. Last thing, and then we'll go blow something up here. Let's talk about duty officers. In space, and I'm missing one. I couldn't decide what to plug down in here. Actually, I'll just plug that in there. I'm running Gravity Well. Can't hurt to have 2 of them, right? So, Emergency Con Officer, that's useful and everywhere. It comes out of the Lobby store, and anytime you activate emergency power to engines, it cools down evasive maneuvers. So you can bounce those 2 back and forth. You've got your energy weapons officers, both for crit chance and crit hit. I've got green ones right now. I will eventually upgrade them when I have more money. Dal Rael in here. So we weren't supposed to have this. We were supposed to have Agent Nerul, but I don't have that yet. It comes from a bundle in the C store. Dal Rael has the same kind of ability here, which is anytime you do attack pattern beta, it has a chance to heal your hull. It's a survivability thing. So Dal is a good counter or a good replacement for Nerul. You know, use what you got. And then the one I just plugged in here is a chance to create an aftershock gravity well. You can plug anything into that 5th spot, especially if it fits what you're trying to do with the build. And that's it for the build. So let's go blow something up, guys. I have not done my daily yet. You guys want to do Synthwave?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Synthwave it is. Let me go to the event menu. Wayun? Tabby, did you get that?
Yeah, did you? I said Wayun.
I think we talked over you.
Oh, well then.
Just making sure before I hit the button.
We don't want to go without a Tabby.
Of course not.
Alrighty. Here we go.
Captains, it is with solemn purpose the synth.
You know, just food for thought. Since this is an older tier 6 ship, could you just see jumping into a TFO and some player seeing the ship and be like, "Oh, really? That's what they brought?" Like, it's like, just wait.
Well, see,
we're okay.
the ship. So I'm definitely underpowered because I have not T6X'd it any, and also if you get the fleet variant, you know it'll stack up. Once you get all the stuff and things to it, it'll be yeah. which I think I saw UT6X2 yours.
I did it today. I was gonna hold off for the fleet version, but I'm like, it's gonna be a while before we get that. So
The synth are turning the
I went
defense
ahead
net
and
against
boosted it.
targets on Mars.
Figured why not.
Evacuate the
Here we
engineers
go.
at the outer perimeter first.
Get all my boost going here.
Oh wait, I need to pick people up before I drop them off.
Maybe.
What? That's too
So
hard.
there's another benefit to Dalrel that you didn't mention. There's a chance that he will give you a free fire at will. And
Yeah,
while on a Cannon Scatter Volley build, that doesn't seem super important. However, with your having the Pavin Omni Beam, and if you chose for any other Omni Beams on the rear, they get to take advantage of said fire at will.
Sure. Now I will say, oh oh, there it went. Okay. That's true because we are using the one Omni. I'm using the one Omni. I could throw another one on there, and yeah, I may actually at some point in time switch this to a beam fire at will build anyway. I don't know. I like Scatter Volley. I have a thing for the beams though. And I wasn't sure how well it would work.
I'm using pulse phasers for the first time since the redesign. Oh my god.
Oh really? You didn't put them on before?
I couldn't find them. Like I knew one of my characters had claimed them, but I couldn't remember who.
Nice. Yeah, they're really pretty.
So Deca, if you're listening, I and others would love to see this as a full-fledged TFO, as in not just a special event, not just, you know, full-fledged. Give it to us all the time, where it has advanced, elite, all the things.
I would be okay with that. This TFO is fun.
Think how much harder, like, this would be, because that you would probably have to get all of the crew, like all the ships crewed, which would take a lot of coordination. It is possible.
Ooh, I don't know about I mean, I could see making that an optional. I don't know about making it a requirement.
No transports get lost.
That sounds like an accolade.
For an elite, that's not an uncommon ask for some of the fail conditions.
Did I lose it? No, it's still here. Okay.
Darkin says I may be masochistic. I mean, that could be accurate.
I kind of don't disagree with that. Like, I think that would be a lot. There we go. Quit teleporting me when I'm trying to beam into a ship.
Transporting. Rescuing. Oh, someone else is coming to try to steal my rescue. See how you are.
It was me.
Oh no.
I didn't realize you were there.
Uh-huh, sure.
I fly completely past the person I'm trying to.
think I'm gonna be able to save anybody else.
I think I screwed up. I would have had another ship, but I'll get this person and get out.
The outer perimeter is lost. Fall back and rescue as many.
Oh no, I'm in the outer perimeter.
Oh shit!
Go, go, go.
Living on the edge.
Leave that freighter alone.
Now this isn't a great test of what one can do.
It will be towards the end when we have like a target-rich environment. Right now it's not, because we're too busy trying to beam these things up, but during the last portion of this, there's going to be a lot of stuff to shoot. Then we might actually be able to show off the haste and... What'd you call it? Like an A-10 Warthog?
Yeah. I mean, that'd be more accurate if, let's say, we were doing a cannon rapid fire, because then it would definitely kind of get that feel and look. Concentrated, you know, cannons shooting.
I could flip that around too. I just have to get the trait. That's why I went with CSV. It was the trait that I had.
Guess I'm just gonna go on. Someone else is taking my circle.
Sorry.
No, it's a big ship. And I'm like, there's no way they're gonna turn around in time. So I'll let them have it. I understand big ships. Yeah.
I got 2 transports over here.
See, honestly, this wouldn't be hard to get all the ships and all the and most of the people off the ground. I'm not saying you have to get all the people off the ground, because it's clear that they have a mechanism that automatically keeps putting more and more people up. But the getting all the ships, there's a set number, and if everyone came into the map and goes, we're all going clockwise or we're all going counterclockwise, it would work out quite well. You could probably get every ship without problem. Because normally here at the end, we start having to dip into closer to the middle to get some of the other ships, because there aren't any on the outside anymore.
The hardest part would be the
All
outer ring.
satellites are coming under synth control. Operational area is approaching 50%.
Didn't say
Like,
that one.
I don't see any ships around, so I'm just inside the inner, that ring circle that they just put up,
We
sending
lost one.
ships home.
We lost a lot of frigates.
Because everyone focuses on transports. And I don't blame them. Transports give us the most points.
I'm not gonna make that one. We got 2 transports over here that nobody saved. I don't think I have enough time.
Not at 9 seconds.
Because they're facing the wrong way.
We're almost out of ships to bring survivors to. Bring any additional crews to the
Oh,
station and
why
beam
am
them
I
over.
out there?
It's only a matter of time before the defense net destroys everything on the surface.
Okay, what do we got? 3 minutes?
Beam up any remaining survivors and get them to the safe zone.
Are there any other transports that you guys see?
I do not.
I do have a cruiser over here I'm going to try and save.
I don't even see people. really. There's like only a handful of people, bots, and they all seem to be filled with another ship trying to pick them up.
I have actually been meaning to get Dow on some of my other captains, like Kitties, because he runs Fire at Will. So I think putting Dow on there would be a good one. Okay, I got 3 more to grab here.
Darkin, you're not wrong. Coordination is the hardest part of a pug. That's true in pretty much every game I've ever played.
That's the nature of a pug.
Though a lot of there, I would say there are some elites in this game that are not pug friendly. That they take too much coordination as is, and I don't know that there's a way to get away from requiring coordination.
Fall back to the station. The safe zone is only 15 kilometers in radius. The station is deploying additional transports and has begun evacuation procedures. Fall back to the station perimeter. Do not let the Sith through.
Well, I just dropped off my last one. I get that these ships were supposed to be used to evacuate Romulus, but especially in this TFO, like, there's a lot of ships here. And they're pretty well armed for ships that were supposed to be just evacuating.
The
I think if I was
Demos or
designing ships like that, I would have just made them fast.
All ships, total defense net corruption is imminent. Ensure as many transports escape the area as possible.
okay, you're at Alpha.
Perimeter. Keep the Sith away from those
I am.
transports until they can escape.
Abby's at Beta. I'll go to Gamma.
Transports en route to Beacon Alpha are requesting protection.
There we go.
There are transports en route to
I feel a bit like a Death Blossom going here with the Cannon Scatter Volley and the turrets. I just see, like, you know, the bolts shooting out in all directions.
transports inbound to Beacon Gamma. They're counting
Are you
on
using your your macro so that you don't teleport crazy places?
I am. I'd put a gravity well down, but things are dying too fast.
No. Quit teleporting me out there.
Stop targeting that.
Yeah, well, the issue is that I target it and it dies, and then it teleports me where it was.
See, that's why I use the keybind to stop that. It's an amazing console. It's just I don't like the forced movement.
Yeah, Darkin got your last Starfighter reference.
Nice.
I'm glad I'm in a room full of nerds, or maybe not older people that understand me, like movies I do.
My God, I love these pulse phasers.
I'm still disappointed we never got the sequel that they had promised us.
Supposedly it was coming, but I hadn't heard any more than somewhat like a year or two ago saying that it was gonna happen.
Yeah, and then it got canceled.
Well, it's too risky. Yet we're getting yet another Tron, which I'm not a big fan of. The second Tron wasn't, in my opinion, a great movie. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't. It lacked a lot of, yeah. I just don't have to spin around to do my Death Blossom. Ha ha ha. Ha
Within Death Blossom range. Greg was great. Love the character. Greg. And Centauri.
That's the last transport. All ships. We've done all we can. Disengage at once.
Like, if you saw, like, some of the people that see my screen, you probably noticed, like, if you saw some of this, like, just my bolts going out from the cannons, you might think I'm doing I'm doing cannon rapid fire, if you didn't know any better. Like, there's just times I see, like, all the cannon bolts going out, and I'm like, this is not a rapid fire.
Well, I mean, you are hitting more than one target at a time, so.
Well, sometimes there's been only one target in range, and so I just see the flood of yeah.
My area was clear here for a second.
Computer halt program. Captain,
No!
the
Don't
simulation
halt yet.
is now concluded.
I'm not safe.
Though it may not seem it, that
There
was
we
a
go.
fine showing. In the face of insurmountable odds, your actions would have saved many lives had you been present on that fateful day. Well done.
Let's see here. Looks like Delta gets the win on this one.
For an old ship, this does quite well. And like I said, though, you know, you can do builds on old ships and they will do. Sure, if you're looking to push DPS meters, not the ship for you. Whatevs. This is definitely a good enough ship for doing elite, advanced, having fun in. I mean, probably. I've heard of people doing some silly things with ships and out DPSing people that either don't understand how to do a build or don't understand how to fly the ship. I'm not sure where they need help, and unfortunately then some people feel it's on them to forcefully help them, which is why sometimes I don't forcefully help people. If they want help, help them. If not, it's fine.
Well, thank you guys for putting this build together. It certainly does its job pretty well. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking the time. And Grebog, thank you for doing the show notes as well. I know you've been doing that a lot recently, but I do appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. No one commented on my ship's name.
Oh, I didn't notice it.
What's your ship's name?
The Purguth. Purrguth. Yeah.
Purguth.
That's awesome.
Cat ship,
So,
cat name.
I don't know how many viewers we actually have, but I want to put this out there to you guys. And I'll post something on our Discord as well. We are considering changing up our anniversary celebration. Usually we do a PvP thing. But we are looking for suggestions for an alternative. So if anybody has any ideas for something that we can do in STO while streaming for our anniversary, that would be great.
You can
somebody?
Well, we need to end the show. You can send suggestions about the show to fleetactionreport@gmail.com or contact us on Discord or in game. I mean, I'm at Real Grebog. It's so hard to find me. Yeah.
Just watch out for that fake Grebog, though. He's no good.
He does pop up every so often.
Real or fake, I'm at Nikodas, Nikodas. You can reach me as well, or again, just follow our website to our Discord, and you can hit us up on there. Let's see. Monday we'll be doing Fun Night. Do we have a plan for next Thursday?
We hadn't talked about a plan for next Thursday yet.
But we can talk about a plan after the show.
And if you also have show suggestions that you would like us to cover a topic of the game, that also can be sent to us. We are open to ideas.
All right. Well, as always, I will see you out there.
Have fun, be safe, and don't set yourselves on fire.
Live long and prosper, everybody. Computer, end program.